So, good afternoon, everyone. Today, we're going to deal with the last topic of unit number 5, which is called time management. So, time management. If you see the words, it's considered of two things: time and management. Managing time. If you want to understand it in a simpler form, we all know that time and tide does not wait for anyone. Right? When the correct time passes away, you cannot, reel back and go back to that time. Some of us do have this idea of, had I taken a decision at that particular moment, right? So, time. It's a factor which we cannot control. It's a factor that cannot wait. It's a factor that you have to manage. Right? Everyone, if you see every one of the people or every one individual who has succeeded in life has managed his or her time well. I'm saying the time was not good, but what I'm saying is they tried to manage the time well. And that is why they found success. People who do not value time or do not understand the importance of time are likely to face failure. Are likely to face failure. By managing time, we not only mean that 1 hour slots given or timetable prepared, but it also means you follow it rigorously. Usually you must have heard success stories of students who top in school exams or university exams. They tell you that they studied for, let's say, 5 hours a day, 7 hours a day, 10 hours a day, whatever the number of hours. But they did not just do it for 1 day, 2 day, 1 month, 2 month. They did it as a part of their routine. They made it their routine. So that's what we mean when we say time management, not for a day, not for a month, but to make it a routine. Right? Routinely managing things is what we mean over here. Now, what is the meaning of time management? If you wish to look at a deeper aspect, so time management actually means organizing time efficiently to allocate right time to right task at the right place. Please mark this is an important question from the exam point of view. Meaning of time management. Meaning of time management. Right? Organizing time efficiently to allocate right time to right task at the right place. Right? Everything should be correct. And we are not saying correctly allocation, but efficient allocation. What do you mean by efficient allocation? It means to say that you try your best to allocate time in such a manner that you're trying to organize it in a manner which gives you maximum benefit. Remember, benefits and losses, they come together. Right? They're like a wheel which keeps on rotating. But the best, I hope you remember the term which I said, a win-win situation. All right, win-win situation, where it does not mean that you have 100% profit, but you have maximum profit. That is where we use the word efficiently and not completely. All right, that's why the word usage over here. Time management allows a person to allocate definite time slots to work as per its significance. Right, what do you need to work on first, what do you need to work on later on, which things require your attention at the moment, which can wait for some time. That is also a part of time management. Now, by managing time, what happens is a person can make the best use of time to achieve his or her goals. Remember, we always, when we have talked about workplace situations or professional lives, we have talked about setting goals. We've talked about not only setting goals but also achieving them. So, by managing time, you can achieve the maximum of your goals that you have set, right? You can achieve your goals within the deadline. Well, why do we set a deadline that the semester should be of 6 months, 3 months, 5 months, or let's say a program, a degree that you are taking is of some specific years? You are bound by time. What happens if people don't bind us by time? Initially, it might look very nice. We're not bound in time. Later on, it turns to be chaotic as well as boring, right? Let's say we all dreamt of having a day where people don't ask us anything. We can lazy around at our home. Now we have been, in one way, we have been given that time. Initially, if you see or you feel that it was very interesting, being at home all the time, enjoying different things, and then suddenly you started missing your routine. It's something similar to that. While deciding what time you should allocate to which activity or which work, you should decide it based on the requirement. By requirement over here, we mean to say which work needs to be finished first. Let's say I have 3 4 works in hand which I need to finish. Remember, each work has its own importance, but there is a priority in which it needs to be finished. Let's say I have an online class to attend, I have an assignment to complete, but every teacher would have given you a deadline. Each and every teacher would have given a deadline. So what do we work according to? We work according to that deadline. You see that, okay, this subject submission date is in November, so this subject can wait for a while. Other subject, the submission date is the next week. Let's first finish it. And that's what is known basically as managing time and arranging things in appropriate priority list. Time management actually plays a pivotal role in everyone's life, right? We cannot just wait for good times to come. People ask you to work about it, work on it. You should work on things to make your time better, is what people would tell us. So, is our first reconnecting question. One should learn the skill of managing time to succeed not only in personal life but also in professional life. Excellent, quick, and correct answers. True. Not only personal lives but professional lives are also made successful with the help of managing time in a better manner. So, how do you or how can you manage time effectively? Please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. Right? What are the tips or what are the ways of managing time effectively? So, first thing is, remember this is in chronological order, so you cannot change the chronology over here. Right? So please try to remember it in the order in which it is given. The first step of managing time effectively is setting goals and objectives. The why part. So this is very simple. We have been repeating it in each and every unit, different topics. The why part should be clear. So that is setting the goals and setting the objectives. And what is the next step? The next step is effective planning, planning out things. Right? So effective planning is the next step. Then we have got setting deadlines. We have been talking about that. Right? To set deadlines. Why do we need to set deadlines? We'll look into it further over here. Next, you have delegation of responsibilities. Thereafter, prioritizing activities as per their importance. And lastly, spending right time on the right activity. Now, let us look at each of this step in detail. Setting goals and objectives. Always remember, you should know the destination where you wish to travel to. That is our goal. Which are the goals that you wish to achieve? Why? When you set your goal or when you set your objective, it actually acts. It actually acts as a trail, a path, a guideline towards where you want to work to. Right? Towards it shows you the direction as well as goal where you want to reach. Please remember, you cannot have unrealistic goals. As a person, you need to set goals that are realistic and achievable and feasible in the given context and given time frame. Right? So I want to become the richest person. Could be a goal. But then you have to limit it in time. You cannot have a goal which takes you till the age of 65, 75, 80, 85. You set a goal that by this age I want to do it. You set a realistic goal, achievable goal. Let's say I want to become an engineer in 2 years is my goal. How do I achieve it? I can get a diploma. Maybe. I don't think even in 2 years we get a diploma. I might not get the degree. All right. So set a goal which is achievable, which is feasible, which can happen when you work. Next, effective planning. See, planning is something which gives a rough outline or a shape to the goal that you wish to achieve. Let's say we as teachers, when the semester began, was quite uncertain. How will we going? How are we going to teach, or how are we going to give assignments? How are we going to take online classes, offline classes? We do not know, right? But there was somebody who planned it out. We all sat together. We did a planning. Planning should be done in advance. You cannot dig the well when the house is on fire. Right? When the house is on fire, you need to just pull out water and start throwing water so that you can put out the fire. What if you start digging the well when the house is on fire? It will burn to ashes before even the well is dug. Similarly, when you have set your goals, when you have a quite idea about your goals, you need to plan. Planning is an advanced thing that you do. It works always in advanced stages only. It does not work in cases where things are already out of order and then you start doing something. Right? There are things which do not go our way. Remember, every time things do not go as they are planned. But planning is necessary so that it gives you a rough idea about how you are going to deal with different things. Remember, it's going to give you a rough idea about how you're going to deal with things. Yes, we might have planned that we want to teach the students in the classroom. This year did not work. But then we had a plan B. It's something like that. A rough outline of how you want things to go about. Prepare a to-do list. Why do we need a to-do list? You require a to-do list because it will help you highlight things. This is done, this is remaining. You can tick off the stuff, or you can tick off the things that are completed in the to-do list. You can always do that. To-do lists are really helpful because you can exactly see in front of your eyes how much is completed and how much is left behind. right? That's why to-do lists are important, and it is necessary to prepare to-do lists. Whatever you write in your to-do list, you need to write it based on the priority. First things first. That is how you write your to-do list. And you should make a tick mark once you complete the work. Remember, as a professional person, you should finish your works. You should complete and finish your works one at a time instead of dealing with everything together. You should deal with your works one at a time instead of dealing with everything at once. Why? When you start dealing with everything at once, what so happens is it creates a mess and chaos. Then you do not know how much is completed, how much is half completed. All right. And remember, whenever you start with a new task, you should first complete the pending task, and then only move forward. Remember, taking more time to do one task will always reduce the time for the task that remains behind. So try and complete your work within the stipulated time. Set deadlines. Deadlines are the boundaries that we set for ourselves. Without a boundary, it's easy to sway away with time. I want to make my presentation the best presentation. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Oh, this looks okay. I still want something good. Now, if we keep on wailing time behind one presentation, we might miss many other things. And that is why a deadline is there to give us a reminder. It's a kind of a reminder we set for ourselves. An individual sets for himself or herself. Why? When there is a deadline set, when you have a set deadline, you know, okay, oh, just 3 days for this task, 2 days for this task. So that makes you work on that particular task with full dedication. Here, what you can do is, we remember at workplace situations, I have been telling you that people have a habit of carrying diaries. It's not just there for showcasing purpose, but it is there for the purpose of marking such things. There's something called a planner. There's something called a planner. Planners are meant for noting down important information, important dates that you need to plan, you need to remember. And the name is planner itself. Remember, others cannot set a deadline for you. You are yourself supposed to set a deadline. Let's say you would have decided, whenever teachers gave you assignments in different subjects, would have decided, I want to finish this one first, this one next. Before the teacher starts asking, where is your assignment? Where is your assignment? I want to complete it. So you are the best person to set a deadline for yourself. Next, delegation of responsibilities. Yesterday only we learned the importance of saying no, learning to say no. Why? Every time saying yes would increase your burden. That's why here it's written delegation of responsibilities. Everybody does not have the skill to do everything, or is not an expert in doing each and everything. So what do we do? In such cases, what we do is we delegate work. What do we mean by delegating work? We mean to say that we would give the appropriate person with the appropriate skills that particular work. And everybody is given the work according to his or her skills, or his or her expertise. Let's say I'm teaching you a language because that's what I have got my education in. There would be some other teacher who's been teaching you computer related subjects because his or her expertise lies in that particular subject. So even in computers, every teacher does not teach every subject. All right, you can always have a look at such things. Every teacher will not teach every subject. Everybody has their own expertise, and work is delegated according to the expertise. All right. So that's why delegation of work is important, because an individual cannot work on his own. We know that we need to work in commitment, we need to work with corporation, things like that we have already studied. So that's why delegation of work would occur, which means we are giving work, we are distributing work according to each individual's strengths. Skills and expertise. Strengths, skills, and expertise. This is how we are working with it. This is how we're trying to make sense out of things. All right. Teamwork helps you to reduce your burden along with getting work completed. Teamwork helps to reduce the burden and also helps getting work done within the set deadlines. Next, prioritizing task. Remember, each work that you do is important, but try to arrange the work according to the urgency and the significance of the work. Make clear, have it very clear in your mind, have a clarity in your mind about which work is important first, then second, then third. All right, which work is important when and how and in which order. Work should be categorized according to the day, maybe let's say the day, the week, or the month. You have to categorize it within a day, within a month, within a week, within a month, right? That's how you can have a look at a bigger picture. You can have an idea about how things would work, have an idea about the bigger picture. Next, spending right amount of time on right activity. One should always have an habit of completing work on time. As I said, if you keep on stacking up work, then it becomes harder for you to decide what to do when. Right? When works are completed on time, they become helpful. Let's say I end up taking my bachelor's degree not by 5 years but 10 years. What is the use of that degree? By the time I get my degree, things have advanced so much. The degree becomes not that useful, it becomes little useless. Not just little useless, it becomes absolutely useless. Why? Because times have changed, the syllabus might have changed, the people have been upgrading, uh, the technology has upgraded. What's the use of me taking a degree which I could have completed within 4 years in 10 years time? I do that. It's useless. That's why one should always have a habit of completing the correct task at the correct time. Work, even if it is perfectly done. Work, if even if it is perfectly done, if it's not completed in correct time frame, is of no use. If it is not completed within the correct time frame, it is of no use. You should not waste your time behind works that can be completed within an hour or so. You should not waste a full day behind it. Why? If you waste one whole day behind something which can be completed within few hours, it's complete waste of time, energy, and resources. Moreover, remember when you plan, when in the planning step, do not plan exact time. Let's say I know I can complete a particular work within 3 hours, but I should always keep some spare time. Remember, there are certain things which are not in our hand. There are certain things which are not in our hand. So, keeping that in mind, we should always have the provision of some extra time or spare time. Let's say the current situation is not in our hand. Some of our families and friends would have come across or would have become a victim of this pandemic, even though they were staying in their house, even though they might not have traveled, did not have a travel history. That's not in our hand. What do? We try to be more cautious. That's what, or that is all that we can do. Similarly, when you are tasking or when you're planning out your task, you should always have this thought in mind about keeping some extra or spare time. You should always have the thought of keeping some extra or spare time when you are planning it out. Why? Because there are certain things which happen. There are certain things which happen and they are not in our hands. Right? They are not in your hand. You cannot do anything about it. To be very simple. So is the statement true or false? Does time management includes completing tasks within the stipulated time? Time management includes completing tasks within the stipulated time. Excellent, absolutely correct answers. Statement is true. How can one manage time effectively, or what are the tips to manage time effectively? Please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. So, effective time management, one needs to be organized. Three things that you need to do: to be organized, to be focused, and not to misuse time. So, to be organized means stay away from holding files and papers. Stay away from holding files and papers. Discard the important and keep the discard the unimportant and keep the important documents in files or folders which are labeled well. Moreover, try to arrange information according to the requirement. Let's say you want to, the way we do. Excuse me. The way we do for our subjects. Okay, we prepare different books. Then we have got assignments. There's a file. There's a folder. You label it. You give it a name. Organization is important because it saves your time. When you are in need of something, you may just pull out one file and you have everything. And that's why teachers would ask you, insist that you make a subject book. Why? Whenever you want to refer or you want to go back, whenever you wish to refer to something and you want to go back to something, you may always refer that to one particular book and you will find it there. Right? You may refer to one particular book and you may find things there. That's why people insist that you keep one book for one subject. You keep noting things there. Right? Moreover, being organized helps to save a lot of time. Where you have to search here and there, you try to find out things from here and there. That's kind of time saving happens in case when you are organized. Next, do not misuse time. Remember, time is a limited resource. You cannot leave the same time twice, right? So try to not misuse the time that has been given to us, and try to make the most out of the time which is allocated or which has been given to us, right? Why? Because the same time never returns. Time cannot be reversed. It's a process which cannot work in the reverse order. So whatever little we have, we must try to manage and squeeze in information, or squeeze in the things that we wish to do within that stipulated amount which is given to us. That is why we need to finish our task based on priorities. We need to finish our tasks based on priorities. And the way we are all habituated of completing things at the very last moment, it is advisable not to do so, because sometimes every time you cannot complete things. You cannot just rush and finish things off. Sometimes you might really fall into trouble because of such habits. Sometimes you might really fall into trouble because of such habits of trying to do things till, or trying to keep things pending till the very last moment. It's not advisable to do so. People who are quite professional and work professionally do not do such things. So it's not desirable to wait till the very last moment. Moreover, the organization for which you are working, the organization does not pay its employees to have fun all the time. We are not saying that you should not have fun. Yes, we should become friends. We should have colleagues who are our mentors, but not every time. We should be able to keep a fine balance between our work and having our fun times. Last, be focused. We need to concentrate on what we are doing. Why? Because without concentration, whatever work you do would there be a possibility of having mistakes, possibility of not looking at things properly would happen. Being focused is little challenging because we as human beings, our mind would keep on wandering. Let's say some of you might have, when we have come to this session or this lecture, some of us might have taken our lunch. For us, others, lunch would be pending, so we'd be thinking, when will this end? It's just 1:37. We still have a quiz to attempt. Madam is still explaining. Is there more to do in the chapter, or is the chapter coming to an end? Okay, it's not you only. It's a human tendency. It does happen with everyone. Remember, it's a human tendency. It does happen with everybody. All right. So being focused is something a difficult of a task, but not impossible. With practice, you can always achieve what you wish to do or what you are willing to do. In terms of making more concentration, being more focused. Remember, when you are focused, you are less bothered with what is happening around you, and that is why you'll be able to maintain the quality of your work. Moreover, it will also, when you are focused and you're very serious about things, it will also help you think about the different creative ideas in a different, not only in a stressed manner, but in a smooth manner, things and ideas would flow. When you're focused, it means you're very clear what you want to achieve at what time. There's very clarity in your mind about your goals, your objectives, and the time that you have allocated for it. And not only these things, but you also are dedicated and you are stubborn upon achieving it. Right? So that's why one needs to be focused. Is the statement true or false? One should wait for the superiors to ask one to take the responsibility of the work that is assigned to him or her. Excellent and absolutely correct. With this, we complete unit number 5. Do we have any question, answers, or queries related to unit 5 and the topic time management? All right, that's a no. So that let's move on to our quiz. Just give me a minute. I'll give you the quiz link. There you go. The link for today's quiz has been shared in the chat box. You may start attempting your quiz now. Excellent. I see everyone has completed the quiz. Let's take the attendance now. Enrollment number 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12, 16, 17, 19, 24, 25, 26, 29, 31, 34, 35, 38, 44, 46, 47, 49, 50, 51, 53, 54, 56, 58, 65, 67, 68, 69, 72, 73, 82, 85,
Yes, ma'am.
89, 91, 96, 100, 101, 102, 103, 106, 108, 117, 118, 119,
Yes, ma'am.
120, 121, 125, 126, 131, 134, 144. I'll call out the absent numbers one in case I or you have missed it. We can double check that. So the absent numbers for today are enrollment number 8, 10, 12, 19, 24, Meera was present, 47, 54, 108, 120, 126, 134, and 144. 120 is present. Okay. Fine. So we call it a day here. Thank you, class. Have a nice day. Thank you.